Hey everybody, Bearded CB82 here. Let me adjust something real quick. There we go. And watched a video from Bierstead the other day. It was his opinion on some screwdrivers, and then he wanted to know what other people use. So, well, today's shout out goes to Bierstead. Cool guy, another tool guy. Always brings some cool opinions. Everybody's got, their own dealers and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see what they all use. And then, but he wanted to know the opinion on screwdrivers, and I've got some of the ones right here that I use. Of course, good old Snap-on. These are kind of my go-to. Daily use here at the shop. And some other ones I keep here at the shop are like the Blue Point set that came with the blue cart. Decent screwdrivers. These ones, of course, they can go ahead. They've got the hex shank on them. They're able to replace either the handle or the screw end on their screwdrivers pretty easily. If tip breaks on it, they'll pound the handle off, reuse the handle, put a new one in, good to go, or vice versa. So it all works pretty universally for Snap-on and their stuff. Blue Point, they would have to replace the entire screwdriver, which he'd have to order in a set if he doesn't have a set on there to replace the screwdriver with if I happen to break the tip. These are just some beater screwdrivers that I keep around the shop here. Another set, I got these guys a long time ago. These are channel locks. I got them maybe 9 or so years ago. It was like a 15 or so piece set from Sam's, I believe. Believe they're made overseas. I can't say exactly, but strike end, and I have checked for continuity between the strike end and the shank, and there is no continuity in between there, so it's a separate piece from the strike end. But it was small little screwdrivers on up to bigger set of screwdrivers, and they were like 20 or 30 bucks, so it was worth the buy. Something that I keep in my tool bag. I keep all those in my tool bag. Another old one, I keep some of these in my truck. It's the Crescent. Just, it's very akin to the Popular Mechanics ones from back in the 90s, which is how old this guy is, I'm pretty sure. There again, just one of those spare ones you keep. I got a couple of these guys. They work pretty decent. Heavy duty rubber grip, a very rubbery grip. Very comfortable to hold. Which actually, all of these, they've got a pretty good handle on them. This one, because of the palm swell on it's quite pronounced towards the end, you can actually get a decent amount of torque. These ones, obviously, the comfort grip, I really like these. And these are relatively comfortable too, but a pain to keep clean. The rubber on them is more of a lighter duty rubber than, say, this, which is a pretty heavy duty rubber, or harder rubber. And then this pretty similar rubber is to this, just a little bit harder. So, but it's lasted through the years. And then, of course, your old Stanley U.S.A. I keep this one in my toolbox at home. Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore type deal. But it's held up fairly well over the past couple decades. Lighter use, don't use it as much. Hard handle. Like I said, I've got the comfort grips I keep with me. This one, I can't even remember what brand this is, but this was one of the ones. It came in like a 6-piece set for a couple dollars on Black Friday a few years back. I can't remember if it was Lowe's or maybe it was Menards or wherever. Just one of those things, just kind of a rubbery type plastic coating on it. Not necessarily the greatest use, but that's just another spare set I keep in the toolbox at home. Something that, if it breaks, I've got other ones I can rely on. So, and then of course, some other ones I've used. Everybody notices these. Harbor Freight. I've been kind of impressed with these little guys. Some guys, I guess it depends on if it was made on a Friday or if it was made on a Wednesday, whatever day the factory over in China runs. But these ones, they were supposed to have a magnetic tip, and the tips weren't really magnetic. But overall, for what you pay for on these, you can get a decent screwdriver out of them. I'll say that much. I had one, full-sized one about like this. I dropped off of a crane in the steel plant one day, went down to find it. The only thing that happened was part of the plastic right there chipped off after bouncing through, I think it was in the I-beam racks. So bouncing through metal onto concrete from up inside of a crane, you know, hey, it survived. It's obviously worth a few bucks. So guys, in closing, pretty much my theory, oops, as I drop one, on screwdrivers comes down to this. Whatever you got that you like to use, maybe budget friendly, maybe a little bit more pricier, whatever you're going to use it for, if you like it and it fits your budget and what you're doing every day, you can't go wrong with it. You know, it's plain and simple. Sometimes they last 20 some odd years or even longer. So it all depends on how you go about your day. But anyways, down below, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to Beer Stud's video on his idea on screwdrivers. Feel free to leave a comment down below as well on what type of screwdrivers you use. Hey, maybe go ahead and toss up a YouTube video as I start throwing stuff around here like my little cord. But yeah, never know. Let's get a screwdriver wave of videos going through YouTube. So anyways, guys, remember, shop safety is just as important as firearm safety. If you screw something up, somebody could die. Anyways, I'm going to go home and shower. It's about that time.